That's the key to blocking out. And the culmination of good defense, Jason, is to be able to defend and then come up with the basketball. That's when you've got a great possession, and now they can convert on the other end.
Long Beach State up a point. Marcus Sahonis, 4 early points with the basketball as the shot clock winds to 10. George driving baseline gets fouled. The foul is going against Ryan Rapp.
You know what makes this team so versatile with Messiah Thompson not playing, and I'm sure he'll get into the game. I had heard he had the bug a little bit ago, is that when you have Sahonis at his size able to orchestrate the offense as well as get inside, he's a double threat.
Yeah, it is a different starting five than we're used to seeing. Usually either it's Issa Silva or Messiah Thompson playing the point and starting for Long Beach State. Neither in the lineup today as Traore puts up the mid-range jumper and sinks it.
He may be the most improved player, not only in the Big West, but on the West Coast. A couple of years ago, he struggled to make layups, and I say that, not disrespecting his game, but where he has come from to be able to handle the ball, lead this team in assists, and hit jump shots is unbelievable.
De Silva double-teamed underneath. Had good positioning for a moment, but Long Beach State's defense able to close the gap.
Well, what you have to understand with De Silva, he needs angles to score, and you've got to be able to keep him on the other side of the basket, stay between him and the basket, and make him shoot over you.
6 to shoot. Down low to Silva. 3 on the shot clock. Does he notice? Doesn't get it to go. Loose ball taken by Justin McCoy. Now Rapp for 3 off the front of the rim.
Well, Long Beach State is playing with fire right now. When a shot goes up, they are not locating a man to block out.
Down low for Lucina. And the De Silva-Lucina battle is one to watch all night. And a foul going against De Silva takes us to our first timeout from Long Beach. Long Beach State with the early lead. Hawaii hasn't scored in 2 minutes and 16 seconds.
Easy to play.
Dave Miller, Jason Schwartz with you as Long Beach State's got an early 8-5 lead on Hawaii. 15:41 to play first half. Nice crowd inside the Walter Pyramid tonight. And the Beach getting off to a good start offensively, hitting 4 of their first 5 shots.
Well, they have. I mean, they're going right inside to Sahonis. Sahonis, 2 for 2. He's looking inside, trying to find a target, shooting 80% from the field, and it's just the spacing, the timing, moving the basketball. This Long Beach State team, when they're playing on all cylinders, they're really good defensively, and we can chart that by deflections, and then they get their push game no-go. I like when they get the ball to the first, second, and third side of the offense, trying to get into the paint off the dribble or the pass.
De Silva picking up that foul has come out of the game. Now it's more Sek underneath against Lucina Traore. And Traore misses Sek the rebound.
Well, I like the way he went away from pressure, but as he came back to the middle, he faded away. He needs to go straight up in his cylinder and score up and over the defender.
Hawaii hasn't scored in almost 3 minutes now.
Well, look at the live feet and the active hands. Right now, there's not very much airspace, and Hawaii is having to move the ball on the perimeter, and they're really shutting off the lane.
Shot clock down to 5 and a steal in the paint for Sahonis. George down low. Abubakar missed it. And Hawaii back the other way. Coleman, 2-on-1. Off to Rapp. Defense able to catch up. Now McCoy wide open. Yes, his second of the game. Ties it up for Hawaii.
There has got to be an awareness of shooters. You've got to get back and you've got to talk it out. It might not be the guy that started on McCoy, but the closest man has got to be there on the catch nose to nose. Because he gets into a rhythm, Long Beach State will be in for a long night.
Sahonis pulling up over McClanahan and draining it.
But he just has such composure. You can never speed him up. He plays the game at his own speed.
Now some more backcourt pressure. That's why he's able to get it across.
When you see there right now, Hawaii's getting into their half-court offense with 18 seconds on the shot clock. Job well done by Long Beach State.
McCoy again from the corner. Didn't go. George snatches the board. And almost lost it in the backcourt there.
You know, about Long Beach State offense, it's about the P's. They want to push it, no go. They want to have patience, and they certainly want to get the ball in the paint.
First miss of the game for Sahonis as McCoy, free to the basket, lays it in.
Well, I love bigs that run the floor. McCoy at 6'8", a grad transfer, but credit Ryan Rapp. You know, he's known as a catch-and-shoot guy. He loves to drive, you know, and find rollers, but that time just precision passing, knowing where his teammate was.
Jones pulls up, deep two, and he hits his first attempt of the game.
Well, we know he can catch a nice little rhythm offensively, but where I think he's key is deflections, and we haven't seen a lot of them yet for Long Beach State. I think he's a catalyst on the defensive end for the Beach.
McCoy, again, his third, and he shrugs to his bench like, I don't know how it got so hot all of a sudden, but I'm going to keep riding this wave.
Well, I'll tell you how he got hot.
He got open.
Yeah, just reactivity as opposed to proactivity defensively by Long Beach State.
Now both teams are hot. Long Beach State now 7 of their first 11 as A.J. George gets in on the fun. Rapp on the drive. Down low for Sek. Against Traore. Muscles one up. Left it well short.
Well, I'll tell you, that's something that Long Beach State does every day at practice. It's called the wall-up drill. Great defense on the other end.
Jadon Jones triple. And Long Beach State up 4.
Jadon Jones, a native of Long Beach, played at St. Anthony's High School, not too far from the Pyramid. He could run for mayor of Long Beach State. They just love him on this campus.
Here's Coleman for 3. Didn't go. Rapp offensive rebound. McClanahan tries, no. And George gets it.
This is where I like where Long Beach State now on the push game. Don't force it, space it, move it, and share it. Get it to all 3 sides of the offense. The key is trying to get the ball into the paint.
Long Beach State, 8 out of 12. 67% shooting to start this one. A 4-point lead. Shot clock, single digits. Sahonis. Foul, didn't get it, but he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
And that's what I mean, Jason, when I talk about that old man's game, the YMCA game. He's just crafty, he's shifty, he understands how to get a shot up. Long Beach State doing a great job of getting the basketball down the floor, having patience, no bad shots. The Beach are up 4. Who's going to impose the will? The offense of Long Beach State or the defense of Hawaii?
Beach State up on Hawaii 17-13, and Long Beach State returning home after a couple of games on the road. Both of them losses in 2 games where they gave up more than 85 points. Coach, what are some things you want to see from this Long Beach State defense tonight, bouncing back from those 2?
Well, I think they need to stick to the game plan and, you know, whatever Coach Munson has told them about KYP, know the personnel, but some of the things off the top of my head, they've got to keep the ball in front. They seem to be doing a good job right now so far tonight. They've got to pressure, but they have to have defensive discipline. You know, defend without fouling. Don't just run at a shooter, take the pump fake and let them get by you. And then I want to see them load to the ball better. I want to see them on that midline so that if somebody gets beat, and you're going to get beat at some time in this game one-on-one, that now you've got helpers that we can help the helper. They can crack back and just be connected on that proactive string.
Looks like we got the Dirtbags in the house tonight. Shot of them, you can see him just off to the right behind this basket is Sahonis shooting 2 free throws, hits the first. A very talented Long Beach State baseball team here to support hoops tonight. Some changes, Long Beach State bringing Issa Silva in off the bench. Chase Polynice comes into the game as well. Sahonis about to get another free throw here. Messiah Thompson getting ready to check into the game. Meanwhile for Hawaii, Tom Beatty's come in and Juan Munoz for the first time as well.
Well, with these, you're going to be able to push the pace with Messiah. And now you've got 2 guys that can really get that basketball up the floor and be aggressive. And then I just love the bigs when they can get in there. As long as they're in that mindset, let's play inside out. They're all capable 3-point shooters, but I want to see the big fellas get 2 feet in the paint for deep touches.
Matthew Cotton also into the game. McCoy still here, still shooting threes. Missed it, but Cotton has the rebound.
See, I love the shot contestment, but I did not like the block out. Long shots produce long rebounds. You've got to make up for that in your defensive plan to finish the possession.
Unlucky bounce there for Hawai'i. So you see George deflected it, and then it went off of Beatty's leg before going out of bounds. So Beach basketball, they're on a 7-0 run right now. Hawaii's gone cold, 0 for their last 4. Thompson.
Little zone look right there. So you don't want to settle. You want to get the ball to the sweet spot. That's not the exact shot that I would have prescribed. Get the ball in the middle at the nail, in the lane, short corner. Move that zone defense like a rubber band.
And not a lot of movement on that possession as Munoz has it. Off to Beatty.
What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Right now, Long Beach State in a half-court zone right here. And again, I like how guys are talking, passing offensive players into the other defensive players' quadrants.
In and out. Sek the rebound, though.
Yeah, this offensive rebounding is starting to become a big-time problem they're going to need to address.
Munoz trying again, doesn't hit. Messina Traore ends up with the board. Down low to Lucina. Against Sek, puts it in. Lucina Traore's first of the night.
Love the initial thought of getting it into the paint. He's worked on his skills before practice, after practice this summer to be able to face up, and it really has become a skilled big man in a conference with a lot of good post players.
Munoz driving. Thompson stays with him. Another deep shot clock for Hawai'i. I feel like every possession it's down into single digits.
Well, credit the Long Beach State defense now if they can just block out, secure the ball like they just did, and now push the pace for easy baskets.
That's already 12 attempted three-pointers for Hawai'i in the first 10-plus minutes of this game.
Well, you got to get the basketball into Lucina. He's got the defender on his back.
Couldn't hit, but Lucina will go to the free throw line.
I think what guys, whether they're in high school or AAU basketball that are watching this game tonight on ESPN, post players have to understand, like Lucina Traore did, you post with your lower body. There's no arm bars. If you're Shaquille O'Neal when he was back in there's very few players in the NBA that can just post up with an arm bar. You've got to sit in an invisible chair, play the game low to high, and get the defender on your back. Lucina Traore, there's a reason he's got 9 double-doubles and is one of the best players nationally at double-doubles this season in NCAA Division I basketball.
Traore actually struggled a bit in the loss at UC Santa Barbara. And chances are if this Long Beach State team is struggling, it's because their opponent's taken Lucina out of his game. And he only grabbed 6 rebounds in that one, 9 points, and ended up fouling out as well.
Well, I always talk about him being a JYD, the junkyard dog, on both ends of the floor. And I just didn't see that fire in his eyes. And, sometimes it's hard to get excited on the road, but the good teams have guys that can come in and they can dominate in the lane. And he certainly is a guy that should, whether he's going to the rim offensively or he's protecting the rim defensively.
Well, Lucina goes out. Abubakar back in. Long Beach State on an 11-0 run right now. Here's De Silva. Hard to the basket against Polynice. Got it. And that ends a scoring drought of over 4 minutes for the Rainbow Warriors.
Well, Hawaii's excited when he's able to score because he's what I call a screener, a roller, and a rebound, and he'll grab the offensive rebound. So that's a good get for him, and you can see Hawai'i in the green jerseys back in that zone.
Thompson driving, floats it over to Silva. First basket of the night for Thompson. Messiah coming off a season-high 23 points in the loss at UC Santa Barbara.
You remember a couple games ago I said I wanted to play like Damon Stoudemire, a good friend of mine that used to coach with my son at the University of Arizona. When he's got the ball in his hands, I want him to be a threat to score, drive, pass, or pull up and shoot.
Well, without Sahonis up in Santa Barbara last Saturday, Thompson had the green light to be a little more aggressive, and he came through. Shot clock again.
Good perimeter defense right there by Polynice, cutting off that baseline drive.
One to shoot. Akira Jacobs missed it. Offensive rebound for Cotton, though. Another one. He'll try a three. And the ball out of bounds. Last touch by the beach. It's going to be a third opportunity for Hawaii on this possession. They'll have the ball down by 10 when we come back as we see Messiah Thompson, the floater. Welcome back to the Walter Pyramid in Long Beach. This chilly SoCal Thursday evening. Sort of warm inside the Walter Pyramid, which I think probably holds the reputation for the coldest building in the Big West. But Long Beach State certainly not feeling that as they've come out hot, 67% shooting. Meanwhile, Hawaii just one for their last 10 and down by 10 as they have the basketball.
And Hawaii's taking 13 more three-point shots. I like that Long Beach State is 1 for 1. They've got to have a heavy diet of paint scores, getting to the rim. And listen, if you can converge the defense and kick out, then shoot that three. It's part of this modern-day basketball. But I love their shot selection on this end of the floor as they convert from defense to offense for easy buckets.
Abubakar Traore off the steal from Jadon Jones. And yet another Hawaii possession in which we see the shot clock get down under 5. Not going to happen this time. Spins out. Cotton saves it. Another offensive rebound. But another three-point attempt. That's 15 attempted threes already for the Rainbow Warriors. De Silva with a left hand, no. Rebound, Abubakar. Able to keep dribbling as he fell to the floor.
Great post defense by Polynice not to bite, take the shot fake, stay down, make him shoot over him.
Abubakar met by Jacobs underneath, had to kick it out. Sahonis gets a screen from Polynice, pulls up, well short. Saved by Traore as Abubakar and Jacobs go tumbling out of bounds into the cheer squad. And I think they're going to get Abubakar for a foul here.
I'll tell you what I liked about Jacobs, and you don't see it much in college basketball or NBA basketball, trying to make sure Abubakar was all right, reaches out his hand and makes it. But just guys that are playing hard. You can see guys are going, and you can see right there the official on that baseline, or sideline actually, had an easy call there. But just two guys playing hard, and that's what you get every night in the Big West. I mean, there's a premium. Long Beach State has got to protect the home court, and if you're Hawaii, to be in consideration, to be in the top half of this league, they've got to come to the mainland and split on these road trips. You can't drop 2 and think you're going to be in contention.
McClanahan. Cotton now another possession with a single-digit shot clock. Jacobs swatted by Polynice.
Just really good team defense. Jadon Jones getting a deflection. Hawaii retaining and keeping the basketball. And then just great help side protecting the rim. There you see as he goes up, he just times it. And Polynice says, no, 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 no. And that's a great rim protector. And it's just such an advantage to have the length that this Long Beach State has on the defensive end of the floor.
The biggest Dan Munson squad in terms of height that we've seen these last couple of years. That shot came up well short. Another second chance, though, as Cotton has it.
Yeah, and the shot clock, that was a distressed shot with 2 seconds left. You've got to be able to rebound that. You're doing your job for, 99% of the shot clock defensively. Quit giving them offensive rebounds.
Oh, whistle late in the shot clock. Just 4 on the shot clock. A whistle going against Marcus Sahonis. First foul on Marcus.
But you see right there, just a bad job of not staying between him and the basket, and that's easy. That's assault and battery in all 50 states. I mean, you play defense with your feet. You beat them to the spot. You can't have that physical contact.
Just the 3rd team foul against Long Beach so far. In the corner, Coleman drains the 3.
We talked about him in the open. He can score at all 3 levels. He plays major minutes. That's a big-time shot. Defense almost there on time, but I'd like to be there quicker.
Polynice high-arcing 3 with an answer.
And that's what I meant about when he came into the game, as opposed to going to that shot. Get a sweat, get something going offensively. Defensively, he's been patrolling the paint. He's earned the right to take that shot, and he's pretty doggone good at it as well.
Just his second made three of the season. It puts Long Beach State up a dozen. Coleman misses again. Up ahead, Jones. Slam dunk. And Long Beach State up 14.
Vintage Long Beach State basketball. Being able to create chaos and havoc defensively for easy scores. Now that dunk should energize this crowd and energize the 10 feet out on the floor in the white jerseys.
Hawaii needs an answer on offense. Not going to get it here. Jones the steal to Sahonis. The lob. And a timeout taken by Hawaii. Back-to-back highlight reel plays for Jadon Jones in the Beach. Up by 16 with just under 5 minutes to go in this first half.
And both plays started with the deflection by Jadon Jones. They've got a 3-on-1. You give it up to get it back. It's showtime in the pyramid. Long Beach State creating high percentage shots with their defensive intensity.
So 34-18 our score, and Hawaii now, we mentioned a couple of scoring droughts, just one field goal in the last 8 minutes for this Rainbow Warriors team.
Well, I like what Long Beach State is doing. They're packing the paint. They're making they're making Hawaii shoot perimeter jump shots, low percentage jump shots, but the problem that I have is that it's the offensive rebounds. If you had to cure and clean up one thing, but it all starts with Long Beach State's defense. They're getting back, they're getting turned. They are doing an unbelievable job of limiting paint penetration. You always hear me say build a wall. I think they've done a great job of that so far in this first half.
For Hawaii, the offensive rebounds certainly key. They've got 9 offensive rebounds. Long Beach State has just 1. But the Rainbow Warriors have just 3 second chance points, so they've only been able to score on 1 of those offensive rebounds. Rapp back into the game. Here's McCoy. Throws behind Munoz, but Jones tipped it. Stays with Hawaii, 14 to shoot.
You know, when I watch defensive players, whether it's in college or the NBA, you look, are they on the balls of their feet? Are they sitting in a chair? Are their hands above their shoulders? Or with McCoy, when he catches, you got to come with high hands on that closeout.
Forced into another 3. Rapp misses.
And you saw when it was released, the shot clock went off. So to your point, Jason, low distress shots, high percentage shots on the other end.
It's Messiah Thompson, deep 3. 19-point Long Beach State lead.
With 3:46 left, they've got to make this zone big. High hands, active feet. Build a wall, no paint touches by the pass or by the dribble.
Into the corner, Coleman. 3 over Traore off the side of the backboard.
What a great closeout.
Lob from Thompson to George. It's intercepted. And so Hawaii back the other way. McCoy gets a look. Another 3. Doesn't go. They're going to attempt 23s in this first half. In fact, that 3 right there was their 20th three-point attempt already. And we talked about it at the Open. Hawaii, their strength is the defense. You got to wonder, they have the firepower to overcome a 19-point deficit.
It's certainly going to take a lot of energy. You know, they've got to correct a couple things after this 250 is done. But Long Beach State now, the defense has energized the offense, and they're just moving it. And when you move the ball, it finds open, good, high-percentage shots.
I'll make it a 21-point deficit now. It's a 12-0 run for Long Beach State to build this 21-point lead. McCoy drives, met by Lucina.
Where that was a brick wall right there by Traore.
Down low to Silva. Got around the defender to lay it in.
See, one might think that was a problem in the paint. That was a problem on the closeout. You've got to close out. You've got to fly at them full speed on the flight of the pass, have that pitter-patter steps, and be squared up. You've got to pin that shooter on the sideline. You cannot let them dribble drive.
This kind of score is not something we're used to in this matchup's history. In fact, the last 10 games between these two teams all decided by single digits. Sahonis gets the roll.
Well, I'll tell you, you and I were sitting here as they were warming up, and there was just a different attitude, and there was a different look in the eyes of Long Beach State. It was the first time all season long that they lost 2 games in a row. They came in here tonight with EFT, the energy, focus, and toughness to be able to compete. It's been the easy offense created by their unbelievable defense. Long Beach State up 21.
Welcome back to Long Beach, where Long Beach State has built a 21-point first-half lead on Hawai'i. And as we welcome you back in, Dave Miller, Jason Schwartz with you. Coach, I think it's clear, right? You look at this Hawai'i offense, all they've been able to do is jack up threes. They're not making enough of those threes. They need to turn somewhere else offensively.
Well, I'll tell you, it's crazy because you're talking about offense, and I'm going to start out with defense because it's going to start with their defense on the other end of the floor. They got to defend better. They've got to get out, and they've got to cause some turnovers. They've got to do what Long Beach State is doing to them. Then they've got to rebound it. They've got to push it. They've got to beat this Long Beach State defense back for easy scores. Then in the half court, Long Beach State is going to stay in this zone. They've got to skip pass and stretch that defense and try and get the ball into the seams, the middle of the lane, the nail, the short corner. But they've got to converge and make 2 defenders guard 1 and then move the basketball for open looks.
Jason Hart Jr. into the game for Long Beach State. First appearance for him today. Shot clock again deep. 5 to shoot. McCoy on the drive. And a whistle. A foul against Long Beach State, 4th on the team. And that one's going against A.J. George.
Like the ball movement by Hawai'i, getting it to all sides of the basket, getting it inside, bringing it back out. McCoy's smart enough to know that he's going to put a little bit, he's a shooter, but he's going to put a little bit pressure. He had a lot of real estate to try and get to the rim, and it worked out well for him. Drew the foul, gets some free throws here at the charity stripe.
McCoy sinks the first. Grad transfer. Coach, you mentioned it, but played last few years at the University of North Carolina, a couple of NCAA tournaments, and appeared in 30 games for that Tar Heel squad that played in the NCAA title game a couple years ago.
You know, you watch bits and pieces of games with all the satellites and all the channels that you can pick up. And, you know, I see bits and pieces, and you look at me and say, here's a guy that could be a star somewhere. So I'm sure that's what Coach Gannat wants him to do. Plus, he brings so much experience from that level of basketball and can be a mentor for those young freshmen that they have on that Hawai'i team.
This is Hart, the redshirt freshman. Kicks out for Silva. Sahonis into the lane. No look, bounce for Hart. Off glass and in.
You know, it doesn't surprise me with Marcus Sahonis. Well-traveled. You know, you and I talk about how much I loved him when he was at the University of Washington in the Pac-12. And I said it earlier, you can't speed him up. He knows what he wants to do. He takes what the defense gives him. That was a big-time play and a big-time dish.
12 points, 3 assists for Sahonis. Open look as McCoy drains the triple. Long Beach State, 18 out of 24 shooting this half, 75%.
But it's all about the ability to move the ball, to share the ball, and turn down a good shot to get a teammate a better shot.
7-second difference between shot and game clocks here. Hart pulls up for the deep 2 and draws the contact. He'll go to the line. 15.3 seconds left in this first half. And got to imagine Long Beach State feeling like this is the most complete and best half they've played, certainly since the conference season started.
Well, I tell you, I just like I mentioned it a couple minutes ago, when they came out, there was just a different look. And, you know, we talked about this a couple games ago. Long Beach, the first couple games, they were trying to outscore people. You know, think about it. We go back to that Michigan win. They outscored Michigan. They didn't out-defend Michigan. You know, then against USC, we saw them hold a pretty good Trojan team to 29 points in the entire second half. So, you know, at Fullerton, an early Big West game, you know, they just were good. I thought the buy-in was good. And on the road, they weren't able to finish it, but they lost 2. And that's a bad taste in your mouth. You want to get back to winning, and especially at home.
Hart makes 2 out of 3 from the line. Hawaii playing for the final shot of the half. Cotton, extra pass. McCoy gets it off, puts it in. What a half for McCoy. 19 of Hawaii's 28 points on 4 of 9 shooting from 3. But overall, Hawaii, 6 out of 22 from 3. Not going to get it done against a Long Beach State team. 18 out of 24 in that first half. They lead by 17 at the break.
Hello, Big West fans. Can you believe we're 3 weeks into conference play already? Wow. And so your third player of the week is Bryce Pope of UC San Diego. 6'3", senior guard led the Tritons to a first-place tie with 2 wins last week. The hometown product, he scored 26 points in UC San Diego's first-ever home win versus Long Beach State. Then over the weekend, he scored 17 points as UCSD improved to 5-0. He averaged 21.5 points per game and shot 6 of 12. That's 50% from beyond the three-point line. Now, I want to recognize the offensive leaders thus far in this young season. There are 3 players averaging over 20 points per game in Big West play. Let's start with Elijah Pepper of UC Davis. 24.5 points per game. He's ranking near the top of every scoring category in the Big West. And then there's Bryce Pope of UC San Diego. We just spoke about him. He's averaging 23 points per game in Big West play as he and his team are in the running for a Big West title if they keep this up. And then we cannot forget about the third leading scorer, A.J. Mitchell of UC Santa Barbara. 21 points per game. Last year's Big West Player of the Year, and who's having another stellar season individually this year. On the boards, of course, it's the Traores of Long Beach State who continue to dominate. Lacina Traore, 11.3 rebounds per game. That leads to Big West. And then there's a Boubacar Traore of Long Beach State, 10.7 rebounds per game. Almost had a triple-double at UC Santa Barbara last Saturday. Ironically, he was short just 1 rebound. And then there's your top assist getters. 3 guys averaging over 5 assists per game, like Pierre Crockwell of UC Irvine. 6.6 assists per game. He's also top 20 nationally in both assists per game and total assists. T.Y. Johnson of UC Davis, just over 5.5 assists per game. Him and Elijah Pepper really have the Aggies nipping at the heels, just a couple teams ahead of them in the conference race. And then Kobe Sanders of Cal Poly, 5 assists per game. He's been really a bright spot for the Mustangs this season. And we can't forget about the most efficient players in the conference. 3 players shooting over 60% from the field. You have 2 players shooting over 50% from the three-point line. And finally, the best free throw shooters in all the Big West shooting over 90% from the stripe in Big West play. That's all the time I have.
Halftime here inside the Walter Pyramid in Long Beach, and it's all Long Beach State. That first half, 45-28, the Beach on top of Hawaii. And we welcome you back inside former college and NBA coach Dave Miller. I'm Jason Schwartz, and so happy to have you with us here for Long Beach State. Happy with that first half. I think that's probably an understatement. We've seen them a bunch this year. That's got to be the best half of basketball they've put together this season.
Well, it certainly was. I mean, from an offensive standpoint, 14 assists on 18 makes. Really excited that they only had 1 turnover, and I thought that was the best defense. They were proactive, and they certainly stood with their defensive principles that we've seen them practice on a daily basis.
And for Hawaii, they came into this game the best defensive team in the conference, leading the league in defensive points given up. And they give up 45 in the first half. I don't know that they have the offensive firepower to come back in a game like this.
Well, they do, and you're going to have to find McCoy because he can get hotter than a Earth, Wind, and Fire concert or Beyonce. I won't age myself. But no, it's just Hawaii's got to make shots. But what Long Beach State has done, they've kept him out of the paint, so the defense hasn't converged. There's been very few open looks, but this is a Hawaii team that has no quit, and Ganat has been in these situations. Long Beach State is going to have to come out, and they're going to have to exceed what they did in that first 20 minutes.
That's going to be tough to do. They played so well the first 20. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from that first half of basketball here inside the Walter Pyramid.
Well, I thought Long Beach State got off to a great start. This is a team with an identity of inside out, so they've got to get the basketball into the paint. Once they are in the paint, good things happen. Guys are going to crash the board, and they just got high percentage shots. Once the defense started to click, they were able to get out and create easy offense generated by their defense. And then what do you do inside? You're proactive, and you block shots. Polynice using his length and his strength. And again, it was just the good defense, the heads-up play by a Boubacar to be able to rebound the basketball. But as I mentioned earlier, McCoy, the transfer from UNC, can get hot and heat up like a microwave. he needs about a half a second to be able to get those shots off. So Long Beach State is going to have to stop the basketball, locate the shooters, not allow rim runs for easy baskets, because this is a team that will continue to shoot. Long Beach State has got to come out and defend.
Look at our first half stats, and you see how lopsided this thing is. Long Beach State, 75% shooting, 18 out of 24. And look at the three-point shots. The Beach, perfect, just 3 of 3. Well, Hawai'i put up 22 three-point attempts. And then Long Beach State turnovers were a problem in their last game, a loss at UC Santa Barbara, just 1 turnover in that first half.
Yeah, I just thought they took care of the ball extremely well. I love the 3 for 3 because the 3 ball is a very important part of this game, but they're understanding where their bread and butter is, and that's inside the lane. I will say this, offensively for Hawai'i, 10 made baskets, which isn't enough, but they also had 10 assists, so they were moving the ball, sharing it, and, you know, they're a well-oiled machine. They just haven't seen the ball go through the net.
And Hawai'i should note, in their last game, a win against UC Riverside, just 17 three-point attempts. In their previous game, which was a loss, they put up 38, which was the third most in their program's history. All right, those are our first half stats. Long Beach State with a 45-28 lead on Hawai'i at the half. We'll come back with the second half from Long Beach. Hawai'i 45-28 as we get ready to start the second half. This ESPN Plus broadcast and our Spectrum broadcast is brought to you by Cave Toyota, proud sponsor of Long Beach State Athletics, serving drivers from the Lakewood and Carson areas since 1966. Pleasure to have you all with us on the simulcast. Dave Miller, Jason Schwartz are on Spectrum Sportsnet as well as ESPN Plus this evening. And as far as getting some extra eyes on this game, well, I think Long Beach State looking pretty good for anybody out there watching them for the first time this season.
I'll tell you, if you just look overall at the stats and you start with McCoy definitely having a good first half, De Silva could get started in that second half. They're going to need somebody, but I just like the way Long Beach shared the ball. We mentioned it, that first halftime hit, 14 assists on 18 makes. But the true story has been, and you alluded to this, Jason, it's been the defense. They've rotated, they've talked, they were proactive. They stayed true to the game plan, and that zone really did a decent job for them, making Hawai'i shoot low percentage shot clock, distress shots like I like to call it.
Long Beach State will start with the basketball. And no, they won't. As Abubakar Traore, the sideline out of bounds violation.
Well, Abubakar wasn't too happy, but McCoy was. He gave a nice little smile. Like he said, hey, did you see he stepped in bounds?
So that's just the second turnover of the game for Long Beach State. An entire half with just 1 turnover.
Well, if you're a coach, that's beautiful to hear. Just 1 turnover in the first 20 minutes. They did an exquisite job of valuing the ball. I mean, I remember them. They had 18 turnovers versus Fullerton not too long ago. That means they're making progress, right? You do 3 things every day in life. You either get better, stay the same, or you get worse, and 2 of the 3 aren't worth a darn. I've always thought that, whether it's coaching or it's in life.
Well, Hawai'i gives it right back. Turnover of their own, their 6th of the game. So turnover is really not at all a factor in that first half. Pass down low, Sahonis able to corral it, able to lay it in.
What an unbelievable set just to be able to get Sahonis into the paint, and then it was just bully ball. Wasn't even fair with that defender, and I love McClanahan, but Sahonis was just able to do what he wanted.
McCoy for 3, good on his first attempt of the second half. 22 points now for Justin McCoy.
Big time shot, big time player in addition to the Big West Conference. Like Lucina is saying, get the basketball to the other side of the floor, trying to work an angle game to get it inside.
Matthew Cotton, huge on the offensive glass for Hawai'i in that first half. He starts the second half on the floor for them.
Well, he sure had great energy and a wherewithal to get rebounds out of his area.
Sahonis fouled as he charged up the sideline. So fresh 20 on the clock for the Beach with this 16-point lead. And Sahonis with a game high, or rather a team high 14 points. Inbounds to Jadon Jones. High screen from Lucina Traore. Sahonis pulls up from the free throw line. Fouled and got it. Going to the line. A chance at a three-point play. 7 of 9 now for Marcus Sahonis. 3 assists and 2 for 2 from the free throw line.
But I tell you, he just understands reading the defense, taking what the defense gives him, and he just has experience, and he understands how to get shots, whether it's inside, outside, whether he's going to pull up off the dribble drive. Just so much veteranism that he has, like Robert Horry likes to say when we used to do games together on Spectrum.
Sahonis misfires on the free throw. 18-point Beach lead.
Where I like the defense, just trying to limit all the paint penetration that you can see. De Silva right there facing him up, and loves Sahonis. Well, he stood up. I was going to say, I love the way he took that initial hit and he absorbed the contact. But the minute you stand straight up and you give an angle, it puts the official in a position to make that call. You can see right here, just faces him up, absorbs it, but he gives him that angle, initiates the contact. Easy call for the Zebra.
Well, that's something I think, and you just mentioned it, Coach, a moment ago, something we might see a lot in the second half if Hawaii's going to try to get back in this thing, which is De Silva trying to make plays down low.
Well, those are the two guys that we thought did, the most damage for Hawaii in that first half, because now you have an inside threat, but he needs angles to score, and he's a good player. He's gotten better, but he's not going to beat you with the 3 moves and 3 counter moves. He's going to try and play that angle game, but he's a competitor. He's athletic, and, I think he does a really good job sealing. That's what I've seen him get better at over the years at Hawaii.
Lucina wild shot. Good defense by De Silva. Coleman fakes the 3, nowhere to go.
Really good defense right there on the perimeter, keeping McClanahan in front.
And these guards just have nowhere to go on these dribble drives.
No, and Long Beach State switching is there. That was great patience from Hawaii, Jason. Not to force a shot, not to try and dribble and over-penetrate. Just really good offense by Hawaii.
Yeah, Coleman, his 3rd assist down low to De Silva, who now has 9 points. Meanwhile, ball out of bounds, staying with Long Beach State. 17:35 to go in the second half.
But I was a PE major, so I'm not great in math. But Long Beach State up 15. Is that accurate without pulling my phone out?
I think so, Coach. Yep. As a Boubacar Traore makes it 18.
Right, but the reason I say that, when you got a guy like McCoy that can shoot the 3, you're not safe by any stretch of the imagination.
McClanahan driving. George stays with him. Here's Cotton for 3. Short. Rebound on the floor. Held ball. Possession arrow, Long Beach State.
Boubacar just has really put his fingerprint on all these games. But right there on the perimeter, easy catch and shoot. And what I like is he had his feet set. Well, he's got ice in his veins now. So I'll talk to him about that tomorrow. Having a little bit of fun out here. But again, just being able to be patient. He had his palms of the passer. He caught it. He was locked, loaded, and a nice shot. He has improved so much since he's been here.
Well, he does it all, but shooting the 3 is not part of his arsenal just yet. He was 1 of 12 coming into this game. So nice form there on that 3-point shot.
Well, I love it. You sound like a coach. Not part of his arsenal. You're exactly right.
Coleman can't answer. The only Hawaii player hitting 3s with any consistency is McCoy. Everyone else ice cold from distance.
Well, he sure is hitting them.
Underneath, the reverse. Sahonis on the feed from Abubakar.
We started this game talking about connectivity defensively. This offense has been really connected. This is the best that I've seen them play in long spurts. I think they learned a couple things on that road trip with the 2 losses in a row.
Wild pass intercepted by Lucina Traore. And Abubakar is going to let his teammates catch up.
Jason, most people love to win. Good teams hate to lose. And that wasn't probably a very happy trip. And when they got back, there was probably not a lot of happy people at practice. There were things to correct. And we're seeing that pay off.
So Beach up 20. Foul on De Silva. His second. Hawaii certainly can't afford to have De Silva get in any foul trouble as we see Tom Beatty and Juan Munoz enter the game for the Rainbow Warriors. Sahonis driving on Beatty. Fade away, short. Abubakar, offensive rebound. He's starting to fill up the stat sheet.
Well, he sure is. He just does a lot of things that makes winning plays for this team on both ends of the floor.
Lucina charges inside. No, but George there for the rebound. Nice feed down low and another foul. And another foul against De Silva.
Well, I tell you, what a great pass by Sahonis to be able to try and thread that needle and not have an angle, but it's just the wherewithal to stick with the game plan of getting the basketball inside. You see Sahonis, it's an inside pass. If I'm Long Beach State, I want to feed the beast all night long. They're up 54-34. It's a great one in the pyramid.
Back here in Long Beach, and almost that time of year, almost baseball season. Mentioned earlier the baseball teams here, they were just introduced at half court. People here in Long Beach starting to get excited for some baseball. They were throwing some shirts up into the stands. But Coach, I know normally you're all about those giveaways. You're trying to catch one here, but I don't think you were trying to get in the crossfire of any pitcher's strong right arms there with those shirts.
No, I'm going to tell you what. Some of the best college baseball right here. I mean, Long Beach State just really getting it together athletically. All the teams are doing well, and I just like the family atmosphere within this athletic department. Everybody comes and supports each other. It's really a family atmosphere.
Hawaii's got themselves a pretty good baseball program, too, and a beautiful stadium as well. As Lucina Traore misses, Sahonis can't clean up, and Hawaii coming down the floor, down 20, needing to make some things happen on both ends of the floor.
Have you ever been to the facility at Hawaii for a game?
Oh, sure. Many times.
That's what I thought.
Stan Sheriff Center, they get a nice crowd going. Are we talking baseball or basketball?
I meant for the baseball. I knew you were there for basketball.
Well, I've been. They're right next door to each other. So usually pulling into the arena for basketball, you're right there. The baseball stadium's right there.
Yeah. See, right there, I like it when Long Beach State walls it up and goes up in their cylinder. That's an easy call. I call that the fly swatter. If you're going to do that, you might as well just cross your arms and look to take a charge, but easy call by the official.
Matthew Cotton to the free throw line here. About to shoot two. Cotton, another grad transfer. He went to Yale, spent the last 5 years at Yale, played 3 full seasons there, and he's got NCAA tournament experience. Yale won the Ivy League a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I remember watching him play a little bit. I mean, if you close out, he likes to shot fake. He's really good at putting it on the floor and driving it. But, I mean, truth be told, he wants to catch and shoot, and he's pretty good. I like his activity on both ends of the floor.
Makes both free throws. Beach by 20. Here's Lucina. Underneath against De Silva. Got the roll. It hung on the front of the rim and dropped back through.
Boy, coveted the contact, played through the contact, and just absorbed it and got it up and over and had the nice little touch and the little backspin to have it drop in the cylinder.
Juan Munoz pulls up. Nice looking shot there from the baseline.
Well, you can't let him get started. We talked about McCoy. Munoz has been quiet, but he can play the two. He's a backup point guard if they need him, but he's really a good shooter, a straight line driver. But he's a pure shooter. They can't let him get into a rhythm.
Lucina misses there. Cotton's got it. Here come the Rainbow Warriors. Cotton all the way. Missed it. De Silva, the rebound, and the putback.
Well, two things bad on that. They didn't pick him up. I mean, somebody finally guarded Cotton when he was in the paint, and then you give him an offensive putback. So, I mean, just strike one, strike two on the baseball theme. They better not get a strike three the next time down on the defensive end of the floor, or you may see Coach Munson make a couple substitutions.
So his able to create that contact there. Big time foul because that's De Silva who just walks off towards the bench after picking up foul number 3. No, 4 now for De Silva.
That's what I thought, yeah. What I like about this Long Beach State team, and I mentioned it a couple games ago, is just the accountability factor this year, where if you don't practice, you're not going to play in the games. And when, guys want to play. I mean, coaches, we love practice. Players love games. So there's an accountability to get things done and to practice hard and, know your role and star in your role so that you can earn minutes.
Thompson stepped on the sideline, only the third Long Beach State turnover of the game.
I'd like to see right now a little bit more activity like that on the defensive end of the floor to create easy offense like we just saw Jadon Jones with the deuce.
Stealing the score for Jadon, the Long Beach native, rather.
But right now,
Munoz for three.
Sorry about that, but Munoz, as we talked, he can light it up. But right now, I don't see a lot of talk and pointing that we saw in the first 20 minutes. And I said they can't just duplicate that first half. They've got to play better.
Paulinese against Sek. Nothing there.
A lot of time on the clock. Use all sides of your offense.
Abubakar.
Wow.
The reverse with the foul.
Did you see that quick move on the baseline? Just he set that up so beautiful, knew where he was. Little crossover. Just an up and under, used the rim for protection. And McCoy's a good 6'7", 6'8", right there. That's a heck of a move by Abubakar.
Abubakar coming off one of the more interesting stat lines you'll see in college basketball.
Don't go there, partner. Don't go there.
18 points in that game at UC Santa Barbara. 10 assists, so he had the double-double, 9 rebounds, but he also turned it over 10 times.
He listens to every game, so Jason, he's going to come to you when we had to put that one out there. And it was a great stat until he got to the 10 turnovers.
Well, I think he knows.
Oh, he knew.
Jadon for three. Off the feed from Abubakar. Jones, give him 14. He's 6 for 6.
You bring up his 10 turnovers from another game, he's going to give you some assists right there. Great pass to his teammate.
He's the team leader in assists. Although they haven't credited him with one yet there, as Long Beach State gives it away.
And travel right there.
Knocked away. George has it. Thompson, good look. Tipped away from Jones.
But Jones made a great effort to try and get that. That would have been a great backside dunk. Just didn't work out for the Beach. But I like the effort, the winning plays, and the passion and enthusiasm that they're playing with.
More Sek with the big dunk there. Hung on the rim a bit. We've seen officials tee guys up for that. Good no call, though, at this stage in the game with this score. Jones pulls up from the elbow. Good touch. He's 7 for 7.
That's what I talk about, getting to the sweet spot. A straight line cut, saw that there was a gap, found it, knocked it down.
Well, Long Beach State at the 66-point mark with 11 minutes to go. Hawaii averages under 66 points a game this year. More Sek with the touch off the glass.
A little bit more of a rhythm right now with Hawaii. Just shooting a better percentage. Just trying to figure out the defense and getting to the open spots for some higher percentage shots. And closer to the basket shots, if I will make that point.
10 to shoot. Thompson gets a screen, pulls up. Sek the rebound. Well, it's been a pretty close second half so far. Long Beach State, since halftime, has a 21-19 advantage. As Munoz wild shot doesn't go, and then look at that battle between Sek and Abubakar. It goes out of bounds. It's going to be Long Beach State basketball up by 19.
Well, I just like the way the Long Beach State is pushing it. Jadon Jones locked, loaded, nothing but net noise. Long Beach State up 66-47.
66-47 Long Beach State. Trying to move above 500. They're 3-3 in conference play. And a look at the Big West standings. Long Beach State was picked in the preseason poll to finish second. Hawaii picked in the preseason poll to finish third. And right now they're in the middle of the pack and trying not to fall any deeper.
But I tell you, UC Irvine, just their whole history with Russ Turner is defending, toughness, rebounding, getting big points, and they played a little bit different. Their guards have been doing some good things. And UC San Diego, man, can they shoot the basketball?
I was just going to say,
fun team to watch.
How about the two teams up in the mix up top, UCSD and CSUN, two teams we haven't seen in that area of the standings in the last few years.
No, and we saw CSUN firsthand here, get a road win down here.
Lucina Traore takes advantage of the open look. 10 points for Lucina with 3 rebounds.
Different look zone right here, just trying to get Hawaii out of a rhythm. A 1-3-1 zone by Long Beach State. A lot of length up top there with Stroud.
Deep shot clock. Sek gets away and slams it home.
Yeah, that's just Sahonis gambling, and if it was blackjack, he would have busted.
Lucina, the offensive rebound, and then fouled. We'll see if Lucina can start eating on the glass. 4 rebounds, well shy at the moment of another double-double, but 9 double-doubles on the season coming in. That's 9th in all of college basketball, and averaging over 10 rebounds per game. He's 11th in the nation in rebounds per game.
Well, you know what I always say when he comes by, he should have a double-double when he steps out of bed. I mean, just his physical presence, his domination, and really just his killer instinct. I always like to, look at him and see a pit bull, not a poodle, because he just plays with such force and intensity on both ends of the floor. And, I always talk about Abubakar Traore improving. He really has improved. These are guys, it's important to get better. All these guys want to play at the next level. And, you don't get better in games. You show your improvement in games. You get better on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in preparation for Thursday and Saturday games.
And Long Beach State in the bonus after that foul, so it's 1-1 for Lucina, makes the first. 71% free throw shooter on the year coming in. A vast improvement from his numbers early this season. Splits the trip, and it's a 20-point Long Beach State lead. Beatty in the corner. Air ball. And Stroud cleans it up. Fans are going to let Beatty know about it. Stroud into the lane. Silva, the offensive rebound, splits the defense.
But hey, that was a good look for Stroud. He missed the shot, but he got into the paint. But heads-up play by Issa.
First basket for Issa, the transfer from Stanford, played 64 games on the farm the last 2 years.
I just like when Issa is aggressive and he pushes the pace, and he makes the defense have to guard him on the perimeter. I'd like to see him shoot more.
Jacobs open look from the corner. Got the bounce. That's the 30th three-point attempt for Hawaii. They're 9 out of 30 from beyond the arc. Akira, freshman from Japan. Born there, grew up here, though, in Southern California. Missed layup for Silva. Hawaii desperately trying to string some stops together and some baskets as well as Munoz drives, kicks. Coleman 3. Didn't go. Lucina Traore, another rebound, his 5th. Sahonis. And the tip back. Oh, they're going to say it wasn't out of the cylinder. From our angle, it did not look like it was going in. It was going away, and that's why Long Beach State doesn't like the call. They are not going to count the basket, and we are going to go to break with 7:47 to play inside the Walter Pyramid. It's all Long Beach State tonight. They're looking to improve to 4-3 in conference play. Welcome back inside the Walter Pyramid. 71-52 Long Beach State leads Hawaii. 7:47 to play. And let's take a look at our Hercules Tires strong move of the game. And there have been plenty, but this one might be the highlight of the night for Long Beach State.
What excited me, Jason, is started on the defensive end with the deflection, and then Jadon Jones unselfishly gives it up, runs the floor, and when you give it up, you should get it back. But that's vintage Long Beach State basketball. Talk about a strong move. It was a strong deflection. And there's the baseball team, the Dirtbags.
Yeah.
Loving every minute
absolutely
of it.
love that. That's a shot that we're going to see again at some point this season. Great work by our camera crew here, but that shot of Jones finishing with the baseball team going crazy behind him, love it. As the ball goes out of bounds and it's going to go to Hawai'i. So with 7 minutes and 44 seconds to play, Rainbow Warriors with the ball down by 19. Got to get something going here. Got to make it happen quick. Coleman quickly into the front court with Thompson shadowing him. Fancy dribble work there. Akira Jacobs, three. Nothing but net. Big shot there for the freshman Jacobs.
KYP having an awareness as that ball is on its way. You've got to be moving to the shooters, and sometimes you can't be in help side as much as you'd like to be. You got to cheat, and we always say have an awareness of the shooters on the floor.
Stroud fouling Jacobs from behind on the loose ball, so Hawai'i gets the stop, and now down 16. They'll have a chance to keep chipping away. Coleman bringing it up. Just 3 points in this game for Noel Coleman. It's the team's leading scorer.
You see, defensively now they're switching, and what you have to see is you've got a pressure on the pass. They want to get the basketball to somebody with 2 feet in the paint, and there you see the foul. You've got to be proactive as opposed to reactive.
Messiah Thompson called for the foul. More Sek to the free throw line to shoot two. Sek is 63% free throw shooter, 7'1" sophomore from Senegal.
Well, the one thing you don't want to do if you're Long Beach State is defend and foul, because now the clock stops. You can't defend these points. And again, the momentum has changed right now. It's been a much closer first half. Long Beach State has not been as good defensively for long spurts of time.
A little Rube Goldberg machine free throw there for more Sek. Bounced off everything. Missed the second. Sahonis and Abubakar Traore. A little tug of war there for the rebound.
Hey, we're both trying to get double-doubles.
Well, for Abubakar Traore, 10 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. So close to a triple-double his last game. Throws it away there.
But they really moved the ball well, and the spacing is so good.
Coleman on the drive, gets by the defense and gets fouled, going to the free throw line. So Hawaii's on a 7-0 run here. Long Beach State in their longest scoring drought of the game without a point in almost 2 minutes, 45 seconds.
And that offensive stat you just gave me a secondary to what I was just going to say. It was this, did you see Coleman just knife his way into the lane? And we hadn't seen that. On the perimeter, Long Beach State has kept their man in front, and that's one of the things I thought they needed to improve on from that, 2-loss road trip that they had. You've got to beat them to the spot. It's much easier to move your feet and beat a ball handler to the spot than the guy that's dribbling. There's so many other things going through your mind. Just sit in that invisible chair and don't let the offensive player's shoulders get by yours. And, we talked about that in the NBA. That's NBA defense. There's no difference. You just got to sit down and don't let your guy's shoulders get by yours, and you've had a good possession.
Coleman making it a 14-point game with the one free throw. Now George comes up short, and Hawai'i is stringing stops together all of a sudden. Down 14, just under 6 minutes to go. Jacobs, wide open look, missed the three. That would have been a big one.
Yeah.
Jones the rebound.
Like the rebound, let's see if they can get paint.
Sahonis. Wild shot there, and then a foul is going against Long Beach State. Is that YMCA game? that you talk about, Coach?
You beat me to it, Jason. I'm having an effect on you. Hopefully it's good. Maybe not all the junk food that I eat before the game because you're so healthy. But yeah, no, that's. And you know what? With Sahonis, you live with. Sometimes you just got to live with some things, and I can live with that.
Hawaii trying to extend this 8-0 run here. As we see a whistle and a foul going against Long Beach State. So this is the opportunity for Hawaii. No doubt the momentum is on their side right now.
Well, yeah, because you can just see there's just not defensive discipline. Guys aren't in a stance. They're raising up. They're fouling. This is totally opposite of what we saw in that first 20 minutes. And again, you don't want to take baby steps backwards. You want to take baby steps forward. So they lose 2 games. They come back home. They have some really good practices. They come out with the eye of the tiger in that first 20 minutes. But if you're going to win a championship regular season, you got to have it for, it's hard to do it for 40 minutes, but you sure as heck have to do it for 37 or 38. And against a really good team, now 39-40.
Well, Long Beach State led by 22 with 8:58 to play. And in just over 3 minutes, Hawaii has cut it to 12. A 10-0 run. Abubakar to Jadon. 10 to shoot. Traore,
a good
stuck.
pump fake.
Doesn't get it, but he's going to the line. Great move underneath.
Boy, he was able just to get in, control his body, use his athleticism, got him up in the air, and, just wasn't able to finish.
So he's going to the free throw line for the second time tonight, 1 for 1 in his only other trip.
I don't have a stat monitor, but I'm thinking, can you check this for me, buddy? Long Beach State, 5 made threes. Is that right? Is 5 for 7?
That's off the top of your head?
Yeah, because when we were looking at the halftime, right?
That's an incredible memory.
Well, they've only missed 2.
5 out of 7 for the game.
Yeah. So, but my point is not to sound like a mathematical wizard, which I'm not. I can barely balance my checkbook, and yes, Jason, I do use a checkbook. My point is that they've only taken 7 threes, and I like that for this team because it shows me that they're understanding that they're an inside-out team.
Almost had the steal. Coleman able to keep possession, gets it off to Munoz. Cotton down low, and De Silva wasn't ready for it, but Munoz cleans up, puts up a 3. Abubakar the rebound. Well, De Silva back in the game. He's playing with 4 fouls, very physical underneath. Munoz shovels ahead for Cotton. Cotton goes up against Jones, and he's going to the free throw line.
I like the aggressiveness that Hawaii has had, just trying to push the ball up. We talked about that at the half. How do you get back into this game? You beat Long Beach State down the floor. You put some pressure on the officials to have to make some calls. And they've done that in this second 20 minutes.
Now 10 out of 13 as a team from the free throw line. And Cotton makes them both. 11-point game. A.J. George looking underneath for Lacina, who got around to Silva and lays it in.
Great patience, great seal, great paint points.
And again, if you're De Silva, got to be so careful. One more foul and you foul out.
And if you're Long Beach State, you got to go that and you got to pick that like a scab.
Jacobs 3, short. Abubakar rebound. 7th board for Abubakar. Jadon for 3. Big 3 for Jadon Jones. Puts the Beach back up 16. And a timeout taken by Long Beach State.
because that's what we were able to see in that first 20 minutes. Now we're getting some paint scores. We're having some patience. Right there, it's a kick, lock, loaded. Jadon Jones doing what he does, giving the fans in the pyramid net noise.
Hey, we don't just do basketball, we do cinematography too. Look at these nice shots here inside the Walter Pyramid. That's a look up at this very unique roof. One of the more unique buildings in all of college basketball. It's Long Beach State leading Hawaii 77-61. Dave Miller, Jason Schwartz with you. And Hawaii was able to cut it down to 11, but a Jadon Jones 3, and all of a sudden Hawaii, they don't have a field goal in 4 minutes, and it's back to a 16-point deficit.
Well, there's a reason for that. What you see, the common denominator of the first half, they were able to defend, they were able to rebound, push the pace, get easy baskets, and that's generated some good offense, and I think their defense has energized. They've got to find the shooters out there for the University of Hawaii, make them put it on the floor and dribble into a crowd.
Cotton with the 3. Hawaii 10, now 11 for 36 from 3. Abubakar couldn't finish. 3 minutes to play. 13-point advantage for Long Beach State. Trying to snap a 2-game skid. Trying to win for just the second time in their last 7 games against Hawaii. Munoz fouled from behind. Back to the free throw line. Now, Juan Munoz, he's an interesting story. This is his 8th season in college basketball. Tied with one other player for the longest tenure of any current player. And meanwhile, we've got ourselves a timeout on the floor with 2 minutes and 44 seconds to play. We're going to see Juan Munoz take those 8 years of experience to the free throw line for 2 in just a moment. Welcome back into the Walter Pyramid. 2 minutes and 44 seconds left in this one. Long Beach State looking to hold on. They've led by as many as 22. Right now they're up by 13. A couple of free throws coming for Hawaii as we see some of their fans showing up, hopeful to see a victory. Hawaii, when they first got into this conference, they had a tough time getting anything going here in this building. But they've won 3 of the last 4 matchups, and as I said before we went to break, they've won 5 out of the last 6 head-to-head matchups against Long Beach State, but the Beach came out with a different kind of focus tonight for sure.
Well, they sure did, and, we haven't really talked much about Coach Ganot, but, I like his coaching background. I mean, he's a coach's coach. I remember when he volunteered at St. Mary's for Randy Bennett for a couple of years. Then he went to Hawaii, and I think that's what gives him an understanding of what the culture is at the University of Hawaii. He gets the people. He understands the culture. He was there as an assistant under Riley Wallace and I think Bob Nash for a couple of years. Then he goes back to St. Mary's and he helps Randy Bennett, build that program. But he's a guy, when you talk to him, man, extremely intelligent, dots his I's, crosses his T's, and he's a hard worker and he's a good guy. I always talk about Coach Munson being one of my favorites in this league. I certainly love Coach Ganot.
Pass knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with Long Beach State. Yeah, Ron Ganot, 9th season, best win percentage in Hawaii history. They've won over 60% of their games. 6 straight winning seasons. That's the second longest streak in program history. And of course, going back to his first year, they won 28 games. It's more than Lute Olson and Jerry Tarkanian won in their first years in this conference.
Well, I don't know who he replaced, but he should have sent him a fruit basket because there were probably some good players there that helped that transition. But he values execution like Randy Bennett. He holds guys accountable like Coach Munson does here at Long Beach State.
All of a sudden now the Rainbow Warriors can make it a single-digit lead for Long Beach State with a basket here.
The big stop right here for Long Beach State. Defend without fouling. Shot goes up. Rebound the ball.
Munoz couldn't hit.
Great 2-hand rebound off 2 feet by Traore.
And if Munoz puts that three in, it really changes the complexion of these final 90-plus seconds. But now Long Beach State can run clock, holding on to a double-digit lead. Shot clock down to 5. Sahonis, air ball. Lacina caught it. Didn't realize the shot clock was expiring. So Hawai'i getting it back. Bernardo da Silva coming back into the game. Had to pull his shorts up. And so Hawai'i with another opportunity to make it single digits. Coleman double teamed. And a timeout taken by Hawai'i.
But that was right in front of us. Did you see the intensity of that trap? Just down low. Just, wow.
And credit to Coleman for keeping possession. We talked about it at the Open. I mean, this Hawai'i team, a solid team, picked to finish third in this conference, but 3 players, 3 captains, all now with over 100 games of experience. You saw Noel Coleman, he leads the way in that category, joined the 1,000-point club earlier this season. Then you got Bernardo da Silva, just played in his 100th career game for Hawai'i, and tonight marks the 100th game for Jovan McClanahan. 3 players with over 100 games of experience here.
Yeah, and again, the big 3 we talked about, Coleman, da Silva, McClanahan, and then when they added McCoy, that was one of the 2 transfers that I talked about from UNC, and then Munoz comes, who can really light it up. I thought this was a team that will really battle, and they'll be dangerous in the postseason tournament, no doubt.
1 minute to play. Shot clock down to 5.
I mean, they want to penetrate, kick, get some outside shots.
Well, there it is. The 3 for Munoz, and it's an 8-point game. Pressure in the backcourt. Beach get it across.
Smart play by Jadon Jones to kick it out.
Got to think Hawaii's got a foul, unless they just want to play this out.
Yeah, I would have on the catch.
And down 8, you're certainly in that territory of, a 1-and-1 opportunity here. You miss the front end, you get the ball back. I mean, you can go down and make it a 5 or 6 point game, but a lot of time went off the clock there. Credit to Hawai'i, though, for getting it back to single digits. Again, Long Beach State, they led by 22 with 8:58 to play. And now it's a 9-point Beach lead. Long Beach State, they don't play this weekend. They've got the weekend off. They'll gear up for a big one inside the pyramid next Thursday against UC Irvine.
So you've got the weekend off. Enjoy.
And then Hawai'i, they go down south to take on a tough UC San Diego team. Another made basket. Timeout Hawai'i. It's a full timeout.
Jason, what's the score of this half if you can look on that stat monitor that you have?
Yeah, it's 43-34 Hawai'i with the advantage in this half. Long Beach State had a 45-28 lead at the break.
Well, there'll certainly be some things that the staff will be able to cut up for Coach Munson to be able to show at film tomorrow of the difference from what they did in the first 20 minutes and then what they were able to do in this second half. But, the tape never lies, and it's always good teaching. But Abubakar just continues to get better. You see right there he's able to size up. He reads the defense. He can put it on the floor. He can get into the paint. He can just finish with his athletic ability because he can get up. And then right there just snatches rebounds, has the wherewithal as he falls because that would have been a travel, but he kept his dribble. Which prevented the officials from blowing that whistle and, just ice in his veins. But he's been really a success story watching him come in and continue to develop and to continue to get better with the outstanding player development that this Long Beach State staff offers.
11 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists for Abubakar Traore. He is tracking to be just the 4th player ever in program history to put up 1,000 points, 500 rebounds, and 300 assists. He's already got the 500 rebounds locked down, well on his way to 1,000 points, and then the 300 assists, and that could come as well. He's got the ball here with 25 seconds left, an 8-point lead. And down to Sahonis. And they're not fouling.
I think Ron had called the dogs off.
And it gives an opportunity for this crowd to rise to their feet. The best performance they've seen from this Long Beach State team on its home floor this year, the Beach. With a big-time win over Hawaii, 79-71 ends up being our final score, but I think that score makes it look closer than it really was.
Well, you're absolutely right, partner, because in that first 20 minutes, that was the best defense that I've seen Long Beach State play, of any game, maybe even from a year or two ago. I thought they were very connected offensively in that first half, 14 assists on 18 shots. And, man, I'll tell you what, the one turnover, that excited me as well.
Long Beach State improves to 12-7 overall, 4-3 in conference play. Hawaii drops to 10-8, 2-4 in conference play now for Hawaii. Long Beach State, 56% shooting in this one. They shot 75% in the first half. Big performances. Sahonis had 20. Jadon Jones, 19. Lucina Traore had 13. And Abubakar Traore, 11 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. Justin McCoy led the way for Hawaii with 22 on 6 of 11 shooting from 3. 11 points for Bernardo da Silva, 12 for Juan Munoz. For my broadcast partner, Dave Miller, and our entire crew, Jason Schwartz saying good night from Long Beach. Thanks for joining us. The Beach, the big win over the Rainbow Warriors.